Hello, everybody. Welcome. I see we have a lot of participants joining in. We will just wait for another minute for everybody to come. Okay, good afternoon. For all of you who do not know me, I'm Diana Anguța, based in Bucharest. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us, Hummingbird Travel, for the webinar that we have organized today with Tourism Seychelles. I would like to introduce to you Lina, who is in charge of Central East Europe, our market. And she will tell you more about the destination, and we are looking forward for your questions. Throughout the webinar, you can write them in the Q&A, and we are going to answer at the end of the webinar after Lina stops presenting. Thank you. Hi, Lina.
Hello, good afternoon, the agents, and it is a pleasure to join you this afternoon to present you all my beautiful destination, and of course, a destination that is becoming even more popular now. We have all the access you need in terms of air connections. We have 12 airlines traveling, operating on the Seychelles route, so we do have the air access, and now we just want to increase the product knowledge of Seychelles and the destination knowledge. So we'll start straight away. If I can share my screen. Is everybody seeing my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, to start off with, where are we located? Where are the Seychelles Islands located? We are located between 4 to 10 degrees south of the equator. And because of this location, we are always in a warm environment in the Seychelles, and we call it the perpetual summer because it's always nice here in temperature ranging between 25 degrees, the lowest, to up to 32 or 33 degrees on very, very hot days. So that is the Seychelles Islands. We have altogether 115 islands. All the islands in the box on the right-hand corner at the top, we call them the inner islands because they're very close to mainland Mahe. So Mahe and all the islands surrounding Mahe, we call them the inner islands. They're very easily accessible either by ferries or domestic flights. So out of the 115 islands that make up the Seychelles archipelago, we have 41 granitic islands and 74 coralline islands. I will show you just now what they look like. So these are the granitic islands. They're high and mountainous, and mostly all the islands in the inner islands group are granitic, perfect for nature activities like hiking, nature walks, and nature trails. And then we have the Coralline Islands, 74 of those, they flat and low-lying, and most of those Coralline Islands are in the outer island group of Seychelles. So in terms of the islands, what can you propose to your clients? Your clients coming to you, deciding if they want to go to Seychelles or not. Can you tell them more about the islands, how it works? So in terms of itinerary, we have three options. We have what we call the short stay. Say we're talking about 7 nights stay in the Seychelles. So that one will be a combination of Mahe and Prale. So the main two islands are Mahe and Prale, and then with a day trip to Ladig, which is the third main island of Seychelles. And then we have what we call the regular or standard stay, also over 7 nights. That means overnights on Mahe, Prale, and Ladig. You get to stay on all three islands, and you can divide your stays 2 nights on Mahe, 3 nights on Mahe, 2 on Prale, 1 on Ladig. Okay, so regular stay, that one is called. And then we have the extension option, which is island cruise. You can either stay on a boat, on a yacht, or you stay on an island getaway, which we call it one island, one resort. So some of the attractions on Mahe Island. Seychelles has a pretty rich history in terms of where we come from. We were once a French colony, then we became an English colony. So we have a lot of those influences in Seychelles, and you would see from all the attractions that we currently have, such as the Victoria Market, art galleries, Mission Lodge, and so on. The Setan Marine Park, easily accessible from Mahe Island, just 15 minutes. You can take a day trip or a half-day trip in the marine park where you get to swim with the fish, you feed the fish, you can see the turtles as well, barbecue on the beach with music and entertainment, and you get to sample some of the best Creole dishes. So easily accessible from Seychelles, from Mahe Island. And also one of the other attractions would be the Forest and Nature Reserve. We are very green. We are surrounded by lush vegetation. So this is one of our unique selling points as well. Here we are. As you can see here, we are very green. So Praslin is the second main island of the Seychelles archipelago. Population of Praslin is just under 9,000 people. Easily accessible from Mahe. By plane, it's just 15 minutes. Or by express ferry, an hour. So we have those ferries 2 or 3 times a day. So Praslin is a very touristic island. That's where you will also find the Vallée de Mai. I'm sure you must have heard about the Coco de Mer, which is the biggest nut in the world. You can see it at the first picture at the bottom. That's the Coco de Mer. And the second picture is a black parrot, also endemic to Praslin Island and to the Vallée de Mai Nature Reserve. The third picture is the male Coco de Mer. The first one is the female and the third one is the male. And of course, we have the small waterfall in the Vallée de Mai. So some of the best beaches in Seychelles are found on Praslin. This one is called Anse Georgette, Côte d'Or, Anse Lazio. Anse Lazio is often rated in the top beaches of the world. And of course, from Praslin Island, you can access and take day trip to those other satellite islands close by, such as Cousin, Aride, Cuyeuse, and Saint-Pierre. La Digue, the third main island of Seychelles in terms of population, but in terms of size, it is the fourth largest island. Total population of La Digue is just under 3,000 people. Okay, so we've got some attractions there as well, such as the Copra Factory, the Plantation Club, and our Source d'Argent. Our Source d'Argent is the most photographed beach in Seychelles, of course, because of the big boulders and the white sandy beach. And same as Mahe and Praslin, you can also access neighboring islands. Coco, Marianne, and Félicité. Félicité is where we have the 6 senses. And this area is excellent for snorkeling and diving. And if I can just remind you, Seychelles has the best snorkeling and diving location in the Indian Ocean. Okay, en Source d'Argent, that's the beach that I'm talking about. That's part of it, the most photographed beach in Seychelles. And some of the places widely visited by our visitors on La Digue Island. All the nice beaches. And of course, beside the 3 main islands that I've spoken about, there are other islands where we have hotels. And these ones, we call them the one island, one resort. Like Setan, we have the Club Med. Surf Island, we have the Surf Island Resort. We have the North Island, that's where we have the North Island Private. Silhouette, that's where we have the Hilton La Brise, and so on. So all these islands, we call them the one island, one resort, and they are accessible either by ferry, by boat, or by domestic flight. So in the main island group, like I said earlier, most of the islands are granitic islands, so they're mostly the high and mountainous islands. We have only 2 coralline islands in the inner island group. These are Bird Island and Dennis Island. Bird Island is where we have the Bird Island Eco Lodge, and Dennis, the Dennis Island Private Resort. Both of them are between 30 to 45 minutes flight from Mahe. This is Dennis Island. And of course, you will find land tortoises there. And the outer islands, we have plenty of them. And most of those islands, there's not much happening there in terms of economic activities or tourism activities. That's because they are far and remote from mainland Mahe, and most of the islands are under protection only. Out of the islands, we have only 3 with accommodation. These are Desroches, where we have the 4 seasons. We have Alphos Island with the Blue Safari, and then we have Île Plate with the newly opened Waldorf Astoria. So like I said, as you can see in the background, it's a flat, low-lying island, and they've got some of the best waters for snorkeling and diving. Our people, who are we? We call ourselves the Creole people. Total population of Seychelles, we've managed to reach the 100,000 mark. So currently, we 100,447. Seychellois. So somebody born and bred in Seychelles is called a Seychellois. We a reflection of where we come from in terms of the different races. So European, African, and Asian. We speak 3 official languages: English, French, and Creole. Creole is what the islanders speak. So mostly Mauritius, Reunion, some of the islands in the Caribbean, we speak the same language. The dialect or the accent can be different, but we do understand each other. So 82% of the population is Roman Catholic, but we are also tolerant to other religions. Dance. This one forms part of our history for many years and centuries. So dance, music and dance, we have the Sega, which is a regional dance with hip movements. You can see it in the last picture at the bottom. And then we have Mutia, which is an erotic dance of African slave communities. This was introduced by the slaves who were brought to the islands in the 1970s. So they introduced that dance. It was their form of entertainment at night after working so hard and for so many long hours in the plantation during the day. So Kamtole and Contredanse are mostly from Europe and Scotland and France, and it was adapted to our own dances, and we call it Kamtole and Contredanse. Cuisine. This one is a highlight of a Seychelles holiday. So what can you enjoy in terms of the Seychelles cuisine? We have a lot of curries, of course, and we inherited that from India. We have fish curry, we have chicken curry, and some people like the bat curry, the fruit bat curry. We have wok dishes, we have herbs, which we inherited from France. And typical dishes for the Seychelles would be poisson grillé, which is the grilled fish. Red snapper, can be red snapper, can be another fish, but definitely grilled fish is something very common in our cuisine. Karizuit, octopus curry, which is very much liked, and a delicacy. And then satini, which is the chutney. We can do papaya chutney, golden apple chutney. And then we have bouillon bread, which is a cabbage soup. So you can experience, you can sample all those dishes in a traditional Creole restaurant in the Seychelles. So when to go to the Seychelles? When is the best time? There it is, anytime. Seychelles, like I've mentioned at the very beginning, we located so close to the equator. So it is always nice and warm. pleasant tropical climate throughout the year. We don't have any cyclone because we lie outside the cyclone belt, sorry. And we enjoy the blue sky, blue seas throughout the year. Of course, we do have a rainy season. I will come to that later on. So in terms of travel season, when is the best time to travel to Seychelles? Very important, we don't have winter. We have two travel seasons in terms of the winds blowing at different time. So May to September, which is the season that we've just finished, we have the southeast trade wind. And this season coincides with the European summer. It's lower in humidity, it's drier, and it's cooler. If you have clients coming to you, they're asking specifically to go to the Seychelles. They really want to pay. They don't mind paying a lot of money. They want to go for snorkeling and diving every day. We don't recommend sending your clients between May to September because of the winds blowing at that time. Very strong winds, and the sea is rough. So visibility is not 100%. It's not very good. Of course, they can enjoy snorkeling, like some diving, but it's not the best time. The best time would be October to April. This is when we have the northwest trade wind, and it coincides with the European winter. It's humid, more tropical weather, around 30 degrees. The sea is really, really calm. Visibility is 100%. You can enjoy, your client can enjoy the snorkeling and diving. Visibility, like I said, 100%. And you can actually, when you're standing in the water, you can see your toes because it is that clear. Like I said, we have a rainy season that's between mid-December to mid-February. We are in the tropics, so what we get is called the tropical rainfall. It will come and go, so you can have like heavy rain in the morning, and then you have it clearing up in the afternoon. But now, with the climate change, a lot have changed, and sometimes we can't tell if it's going to rain or not. Like, for example, we just had the wettest August, because August in the past has always been very, very dry. But this year we had a lot of rain. So we're hoping, because we had a lot of rain in August, probably December will be drier than it is usually because of all the rain that we've already got for the year. So easily accessible. How do you get to Seychelles? We have all those airlines here operating on the Seychelles route. Seychelles, Etihad, Condor, Qatar, Turkish coming back at the end of the month, Ethiopian Airlines, Emirates, and Qatar Airways. In terms of accommodation, we have a range of choices. We have large and small hotels. We have quite a number of international brands in the Seychelles, like the Kempinski, the Savoy, the Constance, the Hilton. We have 6 Hilton properties, and so on. We also have guest houses, which are smaller, and they offer intimacy and hospitality. We have self-catering establishment, and we have the island resorts, which I spoke about earlier. So we do cater for different budgets. We have spectacular flora and fauna. So we have 2 UNESCO sites. I spoke about the Vallée de Miniature Reserve earlier, and then we have the Aldabra Atoll. Aldabra is not open for tourism. It's mostly for scientific purposes, for researchers, and so on. So what to do when you go to the Seychelles? Is Seychelles the kind of destination that you go and you sit by the pool every day? You can do that. You can 1 day or 2, you can sit by the pool, sip your cocktail, but then you would want to go out because everything in Seychelles happens outside the hotel. Typical day in Seychelles would be around breakfast time. You see a lot of clients, a lot of guests at the breakfast. But then around 11 o'clock, the hotel will be so quiet because everybody have gone out for some form of activity. Either excursions, they're doing hiking, they've gone in the marine park. There's a lot of activities happening in the Seychelles outside the hotels. And all these ones that you see here on the screen are available throughout the year. So sailing, you can do sailing anytime in the Seychelles. It's a year-round activity. Snorkeling, definitely. Diving, like I said, we have the best locations for diving in the Indian Ocean. Fishing, very popular, and we have a lot of people actually paying a lot of money to go to the outer islands to fish. Golf, walks and trails, especially we've noticed since COVID, we've noticed that a lot of our guests, our visitors, they want to go in the nature out there. They want to, they want to do the nature walks. We have different nature walks. We have the very difficult one, and then we have the easier ones, which families can do together. Biking, zip lining, kayaking, of course, crafting, spa and wellness, weddings and honeymoon. I must say that Seychelles is one of the top destinations for weddings and honeymoons. And the certificates are recognized throughout Europe. So that's why we're one of the popular destinations for that. Nature, of course. And we're very family friendly. So one of our segments, most popular segments, will be family. And the reason for you to visit the Seychelles, just to recap on all the reasons that I've spoken about earlier, we're one of the most pristine destinations, very pleasant climate throughout the year. We don't have cyclone, immense diversity and variety, unique flora and fauna, no visa required. You don't need to apply for a visa. But what we do have now, for all of you who know, we have the travel authorization, which is the e-border control. So before that, we used to have the paper that you would fill on the plane before disembarking, but we don't have that one anymore. We've gone completely paperless. So before traveling to the Seychelles, you have up to 10 days. Your client can fill out the travel authorization. It takes like 5 to 10 minutes. You just upload all your details, your flight, your hotels, and so on. And then you get a QR code, which permits you to travel to the Seychelles. So without this code, any airline will not check you in. So you need to have the code. So 10 days before, you can apply for your e-border control code. So we have kilometers and crowded and breathtaking beaches. Also, reasons to visit the Seychelles. We are a very friendly nation. The best diving and scuba, the best fishing and scuba locations, no tropical diseases or dangerous animals in the Seychelles. We have a very small time difference with Europe. And of course, we offer authentic island experience because we have so many islands and all the islands offer different experiences. This is a very important slide, I know. The hotel openings. Last year, around this time, Waldorf Astoria was opening at that time. So it's been a year now. Waldorf Astoria is on Platte Island. And then in March this year, we had Canopy by Hilton, which is the 4-star flagship. So open on Mahe Island. Avani Plus, their opening have been postponed to December 2024. So in 2 months' time, we expect Avani to open. Actually, Avani was there before as Avani Barbaron, but they closed for a major refurbishment and expansion. So now they will be coming back with as Avani Plus. Cheval Blanc, very much awaited in the Seychelles. Also, the opening is scheduled for Q4 of 2024, so anytime this year. Media Sifflon Seychelles, opening for scheduled for the first quarter of 2025, also on Mahi Island. Okay, so that's it for today. That's my presentation, and I will be happy to take your questions later on. Should we play the video now, or?
Let's play the video and we will follow with the questions after.
Okay, that was it. Now,
Thank
if
you
you have
very much, Lina. The background behind you looks amazing, and what I see, it's life and real, no filter or anything like that. It was a lovely presentation. We have a couple of questions. Before we reach to the
problem.
questions, let me remind our dear partners that are present today in the webinar that Hummingbird Travel has a lovely system where you can find all the hotels of Seychelles. And if you're not sure where you would like your clients to travel, we have our reservation team ready to assist you with giving you the right information and suggestions for your budget, for your type of client. We are reachable at any time. Now we have a few questions for you, Lina.
No problem, yeah.
We have from Loredana. How can people arrive on the resort situated on the island if the flights arrive on Mahe Airport?
Okay, yeah. Like I mentioned earlier, all the islands that we have, the one island, one resort, are connected with the mainland either by ferry, by boat, or by domestic flights. So yes, you will arrive on Mahe Airport, that's where the international airport is, and then you connect. You connect either if you're taking the domestic flight, it's in the same airport. If you're taking the ferry, you need to go to Victoria to take the ferry, or if you're taking the boat to go to the resorts, it's not a problem. We have all these connections available.
Okay, and also Loredana comes back with a follow-up question. The tourists have to arrange the drivers by themselves. This I can help and answer. By the time when you make your booking with us at Hummingbird Travel, we are suggesting for you the transportation and the transfer, so everything can be done from our side at the time of booking. We
Okay,
have
so
another question from Alexandra. Where are the best diving spots in the Seychelles?
I would say the best diving will always be marine parks, because the marine parks are protected. It's areas that are untouched, and you're not allowed to fish in there. So the marine life is really, really rich. You get to see a lot of fish, very colorful fish. That's why I say you can swim with the turtles there. With the turtles, sorry, you swim with the turtles. You can touch them. So I would say that the best sites are always the marine parks, or just outside the marine parks. There are different locations, like at Costa Sefilia, there's the Polone Marine Parks. You can dive there, and then the boats. If you take a daily excursions, the dive centers can take you out to where they have the best sites and the best spots. But it is something that can be arranged either by your tour operator, your DMC, or by the hotel itself.
And this seasonality for diving, when is the best time to come?
Yes, like I said earlier, that would be between October to April, because that's when the seas really come. Visibility is like 100%, and you can dive to, your client can dive and enjoy the experience. It is a very enjoyable experience to see the marine life, and to be able to see all the colorful fish. And like I said, October to April. I would avoid June, July, August, because that's when we have the peak of the monsoon, that we have a lot of waves, so visibility is not good at all.
Okay, another question. Since it's a good time to travel anytime, when are the best offers that we can find, like a low season, where the best deals are on?
I can leave that for the DMC or the tour operator. The tour operator would know that because we, as the tourism board, we don't do offers and packages. So the tour operator and the DMC can always
So there is
tell
no low
you.
season in Seychelles.
The low season, we don't have a low season in Seychelles anymore. Before COVID, we would our peak season always coincide with the school holidays in Europe. So
Okay.
that would be April for Easter, the summer holiday. But since COVID, we can't tell anymore because our visitors just keep coming. October, November used to be low season, but I can tell you for the past 2-3 years, it's been very, very busy periods. Even March, May, June were low periods for us. But for the past year or two, we've had constant flow of visitors arriving during those months.
That's great news. And the last question, if you travel with a family, where shall we look with traveling? Which are the best areas to go with kids?
It depends. Like I said, you can check the season. If you're traveling during the monsoon season, so I'm talking about from May, June, July up to September, then I suggest you go in the northern side of the island. So that will be in the Bovalo area. The northern side of Mahe is best because up there, the sea is really calm compared to the south, where we have bigger waves. But then come October, that's when the winds change. The south becomes the best place because they have the best water conditions, whereas in the north, then we have the waves in the north. But like I said, Seychelles, you can travel anytime. You can always enjoy a good swim, even if the sea is, in the north, the conditions are not perfect, but you can always enjoy a good swim. But like I said, depending on the season, either when we have the monsoon, or we have the northwest trade wind, the way to April, the south to September, the north is the best side.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Lina. If there are no more questions, I would like to thank everybody for today. Please be reminded that this is recorded and you're going to have a link to watch it on our YouTube channel. So in case you miss any of the information, it's always available. Thank you, Lina, very much. Thank you, everybody. I don't see more questions.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you,
Bye.
and good day to everyone.